Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us on the Breakfast Show on TLC Nigeria TV. My name is Favor of Yenloba.
Feels good to be back on your screen. Welcome again. My name is Faith Imai. Now, the Urban Dictionary describes catching cruise as following a trend, a slang to mean following a trend or to do something for the fun of it. These days, many people, especially celebrities, do and say things under the umbrella of catching cruise. Although it's totally acceptable to do things for fun, have fun, and creates amazing moments, but it's also very necessary to know exactly when to step on the brakes. Today on The Breakfast Show, we will be discussing catching cruise, when to draw the line. Now, before I go straight into the gist, when we decided on talking about this, Favor was like, catching cruise. I cannot relate. I cannot understand. But I think one way or the other, we all do stuff for fun.
Yeah.
So it means one way or the other, we all catch cruise.
Yeah.
But there comes a time when you're catching cruise and your mind is telling you stop, but you keep going further. You're hurting someone's feelings, you're doing stuff, inappropriate stuff, and you keep pressing, hurting people. And when the person reacts, you're like, why are you reacting now? I'm just catching cruise. It's nothing serious. There are different angles to catching cruise. We'll look at all of the angles. But we gave Favor enough time to go and think about it. So whether she is among the people that used to catch cruise or she never catches cruise at all. So what does catching cruise mean to you?
For me, I think catching cruise would be humor, but laced with a bit of crude honesty.
Okay.
Yes, because I've seen situations where people troll celebrities and they tell them the bitter truth, but they do it in the way of catching cruise.
Okay.
It becomes humor. So what actually matters is the intentions behind catching that cruise.
Okay.
So if your intentions are right,
intentions,
I think it's okay.
Intention.
It's fun. It's fun. It makes the world
We'll be back to the intentions. Adanda, what does catching cruise mean to you?
For me, catching cruise is just choosing to live your life the way you please. Damn the consequences.
Wow.
Like we're on the breakfast show today and I might just have a headache and I'm like, oh, I'm tired, I'm getting up and leaving the office. Yes, I could lose my job. I could lose my job, but then it's just you choosing to do what you want to do. You're damning the consequences, you're damning those that you're going to hurt in the process. You just choose to live your life the way you want to live your life.
Okay, so recently we saw a post by a Nigerian musician where he said he's according to him, he was being himself when he put out that post saying that he would love to, in his lifetime, sleep with mother and daughter. He gave a specific age for the mother and the daughter. Specifications were there, Sha. Yeah. Now, a lot of other celebs and other people Nigerians came out to say, hey, this is inappropriate, this is nasty, this is wrong. While some other people were like, dude, you guys relax,
his life,
The dude is just, catching cruise.
Expressing his
opinions. So I felt irritated about that particular post, and I wasn't shocked because of who it came from. So there are some people you hold in high regard, and there are some people you're like, it's no news. So how did you take that, Adana? How did you receive that particular level of cruise?
It's funny you'd say you were irritated because, it was like a 50-50 thing. Some people were like, this is so wrong of you. Some celebrities even came out to blast him. But the funny thing is that some people were actually supporting this guy.
Yeah.
And they're saying it's his fantasy and you can't, you don't have control over people's fantasies. And, I was really, really surprised because for me, it's actually very, very irritating and outrightly disrespectful to women.
Yeah.
And it's funny that even I saw a comment where a girl came out to say, oh, she's interested, and her mom too, but her mom would prefer to watch. Now, we complain about people, disrespecting us, doing stuff to us, but we actually the ones giving room for it because he knew that women would obviously respond to that. So part of the 50% the crazy 50%, because they're crazy to me, that would accept that as, it's normal for him to choose to fantasize any way he wants. So I have a problem with them. But like I said, he was catching cruise in quotes. So he has chosen to live his life the way he wants, and we have no opinion over his thoughts, even though it's disrespectful. So.
But you mentioned
fantasies.
Yes.
We all have fantasies. We all have our fetish. Okay. The only problem with this particular issue or the tweet is that he came out to say it.
publicly.
We don't have our fantasies
Yes,
and our just that we don't say it, we keep it to ourselves.
Yeah.
Now he said it and people didn't take it lightly. But there are some persons that, oh, they really want to do this thing and they encouraged him like, oh, I would love to do this thing as well.
For me, if you have a large listening audience, I think you should be more, cautious of what you say, things you let out in public, because we know, I don't want to give him relevance of saying what I want to say right now, but we know that he has a large he has large followers and people look up to him in a very weird way. So I feel if you have a large audience, both those that look up to you and those that really don't care about you, I think you should be more considerate and careful of what you put out there in the open. So I think that's the problem I have with it. Yeah. You have your fantasies, why not just leave them as your fantasies? Really don't care. I have my fantasies, I won't come out to tell you my own fantasies. So why didn't you just keep it to yourself and share it with the little people around you that have similar fantasies with you?
But we are in a level on this earth right now where people keep saying it's my life. Yeah. Allow me to do whatever I want to do. They go further to say you're not the one paying my bills. So anything I want to do or say with my platform is up to me.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have fantasies. Beyond fantasies, there are even deeper stuff. Yeah. But I think some things are better left unsaid. Yeah. Now, are you of the opinion that we should let people do what they want to do and, mind our business? Because, like you said, a good number of people also came out to say, free the guy. He's catching cruise. He's being himself. Because he also mentioned you would say, be yourself, be yourself. Now I'm being myself. People are dragging me. So do you think that is him? Because we are all different. The fact that we were raised in a specific way does not mean that the other person was raised the same way we were raised. So most likely that's who he is. And he's bringing it out there. And sadly, a good number of people are on his side. Because he did not show any sign of, he didn't still show any sign of it. He even came out to say that people that are following him does not know that he should start crying. Yeah. You get, so he doesn't feel anything wrong with what he did. Do you think people should mind their business or we should keep, lambasting people that come out to do stuff like this?
For me though, I think this applies to our lives as individuals, our daily living, the way we relate to our friends, our family members, our colleagues in the office. You should mind what you say to people. Some things that might not mean anything to you be very.
But he did not direct it to anybody.
Yeah, if he had mentioned on social media, he knew that a lot of people were going to have access to such
information. If he had mentioned a name, say Adana and little Adana, we will say, women. You are dragging out women. But I know that I will never indulge in that kind of thing. I know that I will never indulge in that kind of thing. So I swipe and I pass.
The problem I have with some celebrities
someone responded and said she's interested and her mom is interested as well. Are those people not women?
And he wasn't even respectful enough to choose to hide her identity. He still lets it out in the open because I feel the celebrities, most of them don't know the impacts they have on people. That's why you see a celebrity come on social media today, put on just boxers and dancing crazily, and tomorrow you see people following the trend. It becomes a trend on TikTok. You see TikTok videos of people putting on boxers and dancing bare-chested. It's because they have huge impacts on these people. So I feel if you want to be left with your opinion, keep it to yourself. Like I said earlier, when you come out to the open, you've already given people the right to indulge in that conversation. And these days we say hate sells, sex sells. So people are either trying to get relevance when it comes to being making sexual comments or being very savage on social media. Is that they make very, very derogatory statements to people on social media and they don't even care what follows such statements. So is that they're choosing to sell?
Favor mentioned perspective.
Yeah.
So I just want that to keep ringing in my head because we'll go back to that. Okay. So is either they're choosing to sell?
Is either they're choosing to sell sex or to sell hate. Yeah. That's why you see some people coming on so many trends we had, especially during the lockdown. A lot of hate going on here, so okay, speak up. Whether you're saying nonsense or you're not saying nonsense, just speak up because people are listening to you. So just talk, whether it's relevant or not. But I think there should be regulations to what you say, especially when you have a large audience.
Okay, so let's talk about catching cruise and the so-called perspective Favor mentioned. Is there what is the perspective like? What is the motive like when somebody insults or body shames someone? Now, I think there are some problems we have as individuals, and it's not like we are not aware that we have those problems. And we don't have to come out every day to say, this is our problem. We are probably working on it in silence. And then because I am on the big side. I'm not comfortable with me being on the big side. Does not mean I will not take a picture and post. Does not mean I will not dress up nicely. So I take a picture of myself and I post it. And you come out to say you are fat. Omo, I know I am fat. And I'm probably working on my
For me, being fat is even very relative.
So what is the motive behind you coming to remind me that I'm fat and I'll probably die of a heart attack? What is the motive?
That's what I was trying to say now. Your intentions matters.
Okay.
If you intend to hurt someone's feeling while trying to catch cruise, then you need to take a second and just think about it. That, oh, if this is being said to me, how will I take it? But although some people, they don't care. Because
do you think it can actually be termed cruise if you're not hurting someone? Because I feel whenever it has to do with cruise, someone has to, be the victim in that situation.
No, I don't think if you're catching cruise, you have to hurt someone.
That's the definition of cruise that we've had in this country.
The definition of cruise itself is doing something for fun. Now, if 3 friends are seated and we decide to play a game, and it's maybe the charade game, and we are, you're losing, I'm laughing at you. I know that you're not going to take it personal.
That's having fun.
That's the fun.
That's having fun.
That's the fun. We are catching cruise, and probably 3 of us here are playing the game.
Yeah.
This is not us outside. Outside of that game space, we are people who maybe people look up to and just feel, these ones are always serious-minded. They're always talking about serious issues. They don't play. That's why when people see someone like Don Jazzy laughing, dancing, people are like, Don Jazzy with everything.
You're too old for this.
Are you not too old for this thing? You're not supposed to be dancing on social media. But the guy is having fun.
So I personally love Don Jazzy.
They say he's the king of cruise.
Yes.
He's not hurting anybody's feelings while he's dancing on social media.
But people have a problem with him dancing on social media.
Is he hurting their feelings?
He's not, but people still have a problem with him.
I don't know if you
understand.
He's doing his thing. He's catching fun. The people who love what he's doing, like yourself and myself, we are there. The 2% that have a problem with it, they are the ones that have a problem.
Yeah.
But if someone comes on social media, maybe another celebrity comes on social media and says, go and draw a tattoo of me, and I'm going to give you 1 million or something, and someone goes ahead, maybe the person is even badly in need of money and the person is still a fan of you, and someone goes ahead to draw the tattoo, and you come back and say, it was just cruise.
Exactly.
Have you not hurt someone's feelings?
Yes.
So I don't think catching cruise should lead to hurting anybody's feelings. I just think if you're having fun, have fun. But if you get to a level where you know that you are about to hurt someone's feelings, don't be insensitive.
But it also depends on who you're catching cruise with. Depends on the relationship you have with the person.
Yes.
As we're seated here now, there are some people who say to each other and to be fun. If someone else says it outside to you, you won't take it lightly.
Exactly.
I'm going to insist that the definition of catching cruise that we've understood in this country has to do with when one person has to be the victim. That's why I said living your life, living your life the way you want to, damning the consequences. I feel morality and human behavior continues to diminish every day. That's why you see people coming on social media to say arrant nonsense to
Let's
people.
talk about relationship cruise.
Exactly.
Cruise ships. we learned about all of this in I'm sure Big Brother house. That's where we started hearing cruise ships and stuff like that. Now, a lot of young people these days are in relationships to catch cruise.
Funny though.
Now, one party may be in that relationship, for the goal of longevity, marriage, and stuff like that, while the other party just feels, I just want to catch cruise. I'm in Nigeria for 2 years, so let me catch cruise. This babe is a fine babe now. I don't know why I have to use the guy as a cruise catcher, but it's usually the case. This babe is a fine babe. Let's just catch cruise. Meanwhile, you're not telling the babe outrightly that, hey, let's catch cruise. You're rather saying, I like you, I love you, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Meanwhile, you're telling your friends, and in your head, and in your mind, you know exactly what you're doing. You know that you're catching cruise. And when you're done, you're probably going to leave Nigeria back to where you came from. And then you just say, babe, did you take it serious? It was just cruise. In the end, you just broke someone's heart. You hurt someone's feelings.
Yeah.
I think that's the wrong thing.
Even when you look at the origin of catching cruise, like you said, it's from Big Brother. Most of us see those contestants as celebrities in a way, because they all have large audience. They have fans following them. So if you recognize the impact you have on people as a public figure, as a celebrity, you would, if you're mindful of what you say, you would not come on air on a reality TV show and claim to be catching cruise. You're talking to people behind, for example, I'm the female here, and you're talking to people behind my head. We're in a lovey-dovey relationship. We're having the time of our lives. We're planning for our future, but you're going behind.
We're in the diary room.
You're saying a different thing. Other people are hearing. So I'm like the fool. And I feel it will be safe when the conversation is hard.
Yeah.
We understand that this is just cruise. We're just having time. We are loving ourselves, having fun with ourselves. And when we are done, when we get bored of ourselves, we dispose ourselves and move on. But if it's one-sided, you're catching cruise on your own angle. You feel that, okay, you're just having fun, and for me, it's a serious. I don't think that's where the problem comes up. And judging by the origin of catching cruise from Big Brother in quotes, it's from celebrities. That's why a lot of, laymen, ordinary people like us, everybody understands that catching cruise is a normal thing in life. So everybody wants to catch cruise. Everybody is trying to, be like them, because you feel that they do it and it works out for them.
So are we saying now that catching cruise in relationship should be both sides? That we should be
if it's the conversation is hard, I don't mind. If you have the conversation,
can be on the same
I don't have a problem. I don't think there should be a problem when the problem is when after having the conversation, one party now chooses to fall in love. I think that's where the problem comes up. To catch feelings. I think that's where the problem comes up.
All right. So at what point do you think is necessary for you to know that you should, draw the line, step on the brakes? This is no longer a joke, because sometimes when you're having it could be. Let's leave the celebrities. Let's talk about ourselves right now. Maybe you have a friend, and this friend constantly tells you, hey, I don't like this joke. I don't like the way you make fun of my eyes or my legs or anything about me. I don't like the way you do it. You should stop. And then you say, you're too serious. You're losing up. It's just cruise. Meanwhile, you're hurting this person. At what point do you say, okay, let me respect this person's feelings and not catch cruise anymore? Because some people do this thing to this particular person until the person finally accepts it.
Yeah, I think you've actually, in a way, answered the question. Because when feelings are hot, I think that's when you should draw the line. Because you can't be consciously hurting another person and expect the person to be okay with it. For example, you might have a problem with me saying, "Oh, you're slim," and then I'm probably fat, and then you say I'm fat, and I have a problem with it. But then I'm not, mindful enough to understand your feelings and respect your feelings. So I think whenever feelings come into play, whenever the person is vocal enough, even if the person doesn't say it out loud, you're seeing the person that whenever you make this particular statement, whenever you do this particular thing, the person doesn't really, it doesn't go down well with the person. I think that's when you should draw the line for me.
So that's for one-on-one.
Yes.
Then for people who have like a huge platform where they don't really know what is going through the minds of their followers or their fans, and they just come out to say stuff. Yeah. What do you think, these celebs should do? Because most of those people, whether we like it or not, that is who they are.
And they're not going to change. They're not going to change in the nearest future.
They're not even going to change because they don't even see a problem with their character. They don't see a problem with their attitude. So do you think the ball is in the court of the fans right now to be, mindful of who they select as a role model or someone they want to follow?
I think the celebs themselves should be mindful of what they put out there because of their huge followers. Because sometimes they put these things out there just because, they want to be themselves, like we won't talk about before. They want to be themselves. And their followers tend to do what, kind of do what I say and not do what I say and not.
You know why I'm concerned? Because most of these followers are not kids. Most of them are adults that hopefully they should know exactly their purpose in life. They should know what they want for themselves.
The sad thing is a lot of people want relevance, whether it's positive, whether it's negative. They say publicity is publicity, whether it's positive or negative. So I think I would say do not respond to these people's ignorance. But then that I think the feasibility of that is very low, because a lot of people want to be seen, whether it's positive. Because I have so many people that want celebrities to respond to their comments, the screenshots, and everybody wants, this celebrity responded. So they just want to feel that relevance. And it's a sad thing. I would say don't give them relevance, but that's not even, I don't think it's achievable. So for me personally, I wouldn't want to indulge. That's my personal decision. I don't indulge in irrelevance. So if more people would choose not to indulge in this irrelevance, I think that's where we'd actually get the solution we desire.
Speaking of when to draw the line, there was one time back then in secondary school, we had this friend in our clique. She always, she lost her dad at that time. So when we were talking, she always tell you, now that her dad is dead, your dad will be next. She will tell you, my dad is coming to call your dad.
What?
So she kept saying that to all of us, and me as a camp person, I'll just take it out. Please, that's your.
I'm actually surprised you still refer to her as a friend.
She said it to another person, another of our classmates, and
she got it hot
in a fist fight.
It
wasn't funny at all. So I think when you are saying things, we're adults, just mind what you say. Take a second to just think about what you're about to say.
Yeah, we dropped a question on Instagram and we asked, catching cruise, how far can you go? We have so many comments, but I don't think time will permit us to take all. So we're going to start with some. We said, Austin Jane FS says, I don't believe there's such thing as catching cruise. I feel even if it's an agreement, one of us will get hot. I don't do cruise. Okay, and MC Trevor underscore says, whenever I'll have to think twice before moving ahead with it, I think I'll probably see the red flag. And I think he's talking about drawing the line. And Annette underscore orator says, now I'm wondering what line, please. Okay. Favor, do you want to continue with the comments?
Okay, we have this one from Apex Mind underscore creations. He says, why the need to catch cruise in the first place? Hello?
Yeah.
Cruise is fun. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's acceptable.
It depends on what he understands by catching cruise.
So that's all we can take for the comments for now.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much. And like I said earlier, be careful, be mindful of people's opinions, people's hearts, people's feelings. When people get hurt in the process of catching cruise, I think that's when it's very detrimental. So if you claim you're catching cruise, be sure of what the other party thinks and where the other party stands. That'll be all for today on The Breakfast Show. I'm so glad you joined us today. I'm sure you're going to be back on Monday for another episode of The Breakfast Show. Do also follow us on all our socials at TSL Nigeria TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, TSL Nigeria TV. So I see you next week, Monday. My name is Wana Dana. Stay safe.
Stay connected to TSL Nigeria and get updates on the go all day, every day. Subscribe to our YouTube channel on TSL Nigeria Space TV and join our online family.